Hello again, welcome back to Everywoman. Rape and sexual assaults in Zimbabwe are amongst the highest in the world, fueled by an ignorant belief that having sex with a virgin can cure AIDS. It's estimated by some groups that up to 40,000 women and girls are attacked every year. One of those victims was Betty Makoni. When she was just 6 years old, she and 3 of her friends were raped by a local shopkeeper. Now, Betty has become one of Zimbabwe's most prominent campaigners against child sex abuse. This is her story.
My name is Betty Makoni. I'm 36. I'm from Zimbabwe. When I grew up as a child, it was during the time of colonialism. And so most of my life was spent selling things like candles. One man called us into a shop and he said, "Come in here. I want to give you money so that you give me all the candles." And when we entered the shop, he wouldn't let anybody get out again. He started raping my friend. After raping my friend, he came to me and also to the other little girl. Then I was 6 years old. And within families where already domestic violence was a daily occurrence, it was so scary even to open up to my parents. Our fathers would take advantage of that to actually tell our mothers that they were negligent of children, and so they had every reason to continue the beatings in the homes. So we thought like just keeping quiet about it. The background of the patriarchal society in Zimbabwe is that the girl child is not taken as a human being when she's born. Names like Silence for a girl, and then we have got names like Bright for young boys. As a young girl, I grew up very angry. The whole experience made me feel anger in me. Sexual issues are not issues that are easy to break silence about. But I said to myself, one day when I get every girl into a network, I just want them to say it. So when I started forming Girl Child Network, thousands and thousands of girls and women came to me and said, "Betty, like your story, my story is also like that." And then I realized I was not alone. The myth that we have in Zimbabwe originally was that when you take the blood of young girls, it can actually help you to develop your business and be rich. So a lot of men went on to do ritual murders in order to extract the blood of girls and also to cut their breast, because they thought that as milk comes out of a breast, so much can also come out from the shop. So this was also carried out, the thinking and the myth, that in a desperate situation where so many people are dying from HIV and AIDS, the same little girl could be the possible cure. So a lot of men went on to consult bogus traditional healers who then prescribe young girls as possible cure of HIV and AIDS. And I happened also to deal with a case where a man raped 6 girls because a witch doctor had told him that he can be promoted from being a farm worker into a manager. He had also given a death sentence to all these little 6 girls because he was HIV positive. The youngest rape survivor in Zimbabwe who was raped by her own father is 2 weeks old baby. And we recently had a 1-day-old baby who was raped because of the myth. From 2005, Zimbabwe had a very positive shift from just taking rape cases as ordinary cases to making it one of the 10 worst criminals. We are the only country in the world that sentences somebody to life in jail should they rape a child.
I know of a place where you can go, no need be afraid, and stubborn silence. These are the days, my friends, we think they will never end. We will sing and dance.
Where I advocate for the arrest of a perpetrator of rape, they really hit back at me in a hard way. So much is done to discredit and defame me. A lot of people have actually talked to me about safety. But if you've got 45,000 girls supporting you, what more security do you need? If you've got a whole community standing up to say you're doing amazing work, what more praise do I want? That's what keeps me going. And I think every family that I have personally assisted is my shield in the country. I've built 4 girls empowerment villages. I've done so much investment to be scared of anything.
Betty Makoni there, an extraordinary woman doing some quite extraordinary work. Well, let's look at something a little more light-hearted now. Summer camp is a big part of many American children's lives. It's a place to meet new friends, play sport and generally make the most of summer. Now, the Muslim youth camp has opened in California, where kids from Islamic backgrounds in the US can explore their faith as well as have a little fun.
Assalamu alaikum. I'm Ifat Qureshi, who with my husband Margou Qureshi in 1962 got the crazy idea of starting a youth camp for the few Muslim children who lived on the West Coast. It derived from my experience as a child, having loved to go to the Methodist camps and counseling at the YMCA camp. So we thought we would model something like that, but the immigrant families wouldn't leave their children with strangers, and so instead of an ordinary youth camp, it became a family camp.
It's the great adventure. It is the fire in our
This is a community that we've created for a week to have an experience that's largely outside of our everyday lives. I mean, we don't live like this all the time. And so this is an experience to, pray all 5 prayers together and experience a community where you are focusing on an inner sense of spirituality.
Why is Adam and Eve, why are they so human and Satan so satanic?
I've been coming here to the Muslim youth camp for my whole life. My parents have been coming since the 60s, and my wife actually used to counsel here as well before we got married.
I went to college with Khalid. Here. I can't see his face.
Now that I have 2 boys of my own, my wife and I have decided to come more regularly. As a parent, the question is, well, how do you then pass on tradition, religious tradition or belief?
I was struggling with my teenagers, and I was trying to find the best way to put them in an environment where they could bond and get to know kids their own age and know what they're going through and what it's like to be a teenager here in America.
Last year I came because my mom forced me to, and I really didn't want to come because it was like a week out of my summer, but it was very spiritually enlightening, I guess, and kind of revived my thirst for Islam and searching for meaning or whatever.
You said your dad is Egyptian and your mom's Persian. Mm-hmm. Do you feel that you are Persian or Egyptian?
More Egyptian.
Or American?
I think I'm all 3. Over there, I don't feel like I'm Egyptian or...
You're the American.
Yeah, I'm the American.
My name is Jihad, and growing up, I grew up in Phoenix, Arizona, and in Phoenix, you're either black, white, or Mexican. There wasn't really a third option when I was growing up, and so people just thought it was an exotic Mexican name, Jihad. This was an opportunity to meet other youngsters my age who are Muslim and American, and it helped me form my American Muslim identity.
In America, we have a constituency of Muslims which is very broad, and if we don't understand each other, then America will not understand us either.
For our Generation today, the 2007 teenage American Muslim generation, I think it is the issue. How do I respond to people thinking I might be a sleeper cell, right?
I just am different, you know, and I try as much as I try to, you know, mainly my dress, just to blend with everything, but still, I tried wearing a cap. No matter what, it's still different.
It's just better, I think, for my mental being to not wear a hijab and not always have this question or these answers being imposed on you.
And we are constantly getting, you know, input from all kinds of people who think we're either too conservative or too liberal. We've always had women in leadership roles from the beginning. Every once in a while we'll have various participants in the camp feel women shouldn't have certain visible roles in various ways. But you've seen our classes, they're gender somewhat segregated but mixed up as well.
You were just talking about in general about the whole issue of marriage.
I don't want to depend on the concept that like having kids will complete you. Like I know it does that for some women, but maybe it doesn't do that for all women. So like why should it be guaranteed that it would do that for me? Why can't I develop my own identity for like on my own?
I liked being in a place where I didn't feel different from everyone else. One of the kids just asked me yesterday, what was the highlight of your camp when you were a kid? And that's what it came to. I was like, I didn't feel alone.
Time for us to glide off too. Don't forget to email us with any comments on everywoman@aljazeera.net. But from me and all the team here at Everywoman, until next time, bye-bye.